um, bring Martin into the room. Oops.
Hello.
Hello, Martin. I'm going to bring you in now. Uh, so you'll be able to start your video. So maybe just give me your reflections on what you heard and whether that's of interest to you.
Oh, should I put my video on? Is it working?
It You should be able to get in now. If you want to start your video, you should be able to. Okay. Can you start your video now?
Ah,
Yes.
yeah, I think so.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming. It's really good to see you.
It's it was really surprising that I was just me in here. Well, I have a question. Obviously, it's just that there is a million ideas with AI right now we can have, and I even had an idea for the business to have about business ideas. Just generating research and client base, and then sell those ideas. But again, it's like I feel like there is always something more about the things like that. Like in here, I'm not sure exactly. I mean, I can imagine it is working, but is it something that will really work in this, business environment?
Yeah.
Like maybe you have some ideas that could be better about that.
Well, as I said in the presentation, it's all about finding out whether people will actually buy yeah, I mean, with these AI ideas that you have, you're maybe thinking about a product or a service that you'll develop. And essentially, what you need to do is to think about ways of testing whether people will pay you money for those products or your services. So, there are different ways in which you can do that. You can maybe, develop a very small part of your idea to see whether people are interested in that. Maybe you can set up a landing page to say, hey, I'm developing this thing. You know, if you're interested in buying this from me, here's a bit of information about it. Maybe you'll go on a waiting list until I've developed it. Or maybe you can pre-sell it to people. You can say, this is something I'm developing. Would you like to be one of the first people to get this by giving me a bit of money up front to, so that I can develop it. Or even things like crowdfunding, you know.
So, I mean, I was talking about this project. I still do. It's more like a social project right now. It has element that potentially could be for sale, but that's like later when I'm going to have it done completely. Um, but yeah, it's like for example, one of the thing is brain sensing, and the difficulty is about what sort of sensor I would like to have for that, because you can have basic sensors and you can have very advanced sensors, and then I can talk to people about being able to do something better with advanced sensors. But is it the point, since it costs so much, that kind of sensors to get?
Well, again, it's something you'll need to work out whether people are prepared to pay for. I mean, clearly, if you're just building something for your own interest and you don't intend to sell it to anyone, then that's entirely up to you whether you spend the time and energy and resources in building something that is just for your own use. Maybe that's perfectly fine. Do that. But if you're intending to sell the product or the service to other people, then you have to find out whether or not people are prepared to pay for it before you really spend much time and energy. You know, I mean, what you can do there, if you think of an idea as having two parts to it, okay, there's the what is the idea? Now, the thing about
Mm.
an idea is that there might be a million people in the world who are who've had the same idea that you've had. So the idea itself isn't the valuable thing. The really valuable thing is the how do I make money from developing this idea? And that's the thing that you keep secret. So if you can tell people I'm developing an AI product which is going to, do X, Y, Z, that's fine. You can tell people about that because if you don't, then nobody's ever going to know that you're working on something like that. But what you don't tell them is, this is how I'm going to do it, or here's the prompt. You know, you don't give away, how you're going to do it.
Um, there is many ideas like that. Like for example, just checking the emotional state of a person based on their wave time domain waveform. Like like when you use the chat GPT, there is the waveform created after you speak or while you speak, and
Hmm.
there is a way to basically check it, like analyze it, and then tell about the emotions of the people. And the funny thing is that no one really realized that something like that is there always and could be potentially, analyzing human emotions all the time. And it's not being used for like personal use because it can really tell about the emotional state
Yeah.
of the moment and past and probably future as well, if this would be running on the good model. But
I
is
think
it something?
I think what you need to work out is who are your customers. I mean, it sounds like a device like that, you're not going to be selling to individual people unless they've got a lot of money. So it might be, think about in the health field, is this something a hospital might buy or a doctor or, a mental health person or, organization, you know? Who would be the people who would then use your tools as diagnostic ways of finding out about people who are their patients, for example, you know, because
And
those people might have money, but you'll be able to find out from them. You might be, it might, what you're developing there is it might be more of a B2B type service, like a business to business kind of, um, or you are a business, and if you see the hospital, if you like, as a business, then you're going from you and you're selling to an organization of some sort.
when you say that something sounds amazing and simple, okay, I have a health application, I'm going to the hospital right now. But when it comes to having it done and then going to the hospital, it feels like the way there is full of people exactly with the same application I already have done, and
Well,
everyone
they
is on
may
their
do,
way.
but they're not you. I mean, what you have to do is to work out in a very objective way what it is about you, you know, Martin Bielecki or Bilecki. Like, sorry if I mispronounced your name. You are a unique human being. So you are somebody with a particular set of skills and experiences and knowledge and understanding of AI, let's say, and that's unique to the world. No one else, even if they're developing a similar kind of product with AI, has got exactly the same fingerprints, if you like, in terms of how they've lived their life as you have. And even if they did, you have a particular personality. So the way in which you engage with the world. Are you an extrovert? Are you an introvert? Are you somebody that, likes selling, or maybe you don't like selling, or maybe you like building relationships over time, or, all of these kind of things. They're going to be different. So it's going to make you as a person
Yeah.
almost the most important thing in your business because that's the thing which is going to be different from anybody else, even if they're developing a similar idea. So that's what I mean about, when I said that the idea itself isn't the important thing. Because even if you have 100 people developing the same thing that you're developing, so because of their own way, their own experience, their own skills, their own talents, their own business life previously, the way they've integrated all of that information is that they will design something that even if it's the same idea, it will look and feel very different from what you want to develop.
So, question one more maybe. There is like you have two entrepreneurs. One is doing something out of passion, and you sort of like supervise it. Maybe you can give a hand, and see how this goes. And the other is a person who took the idea actually from you, because he didn't have, and he's still working it. And you do the same, just supervise and
But I mean, the thing is, even if somebody steals your idea, which is unlikely, because at the moment at which you're developing an idea, because you haven't validated it yet, people won't steal ideas from people where they don't know that it's going to be successful, because there's no guarantee that that idea, even if they steal it, is ever going to make any money. So why do that in reality they've got loads of their own ideas that they want to develop? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it only becomes a possibility that somebody will steal your idea. Let's say you develop an AI tool and it starts to be successful, you start making some money. Then once you start earning money from your idea, then suddenly your thing becomes visible. And then other people might think, oh, look, like Martin over here is making money with this AI tool. You know, maybe there's some value in what he's doing. Let's go over and see what he's doing. Um, but at that point, once you started earning some money, then you might be earning enough money to think about actually putting some trademark protection behind it, or which I wouldn't do to start with, because again, you're just spending money on things that you haven't validated yet. You need to find out whether something's going to be successful before you bother trying to protect the intellectual property. I mean, it's a delicate balance because if you're then wanting to get, well, as I said before, um, if you're validating an idea and you're starting to get customers, you're earning money, then all of that is data. It's proof that you've got a market that is paying you for your products or your service. So as time goes on, then as you're building money, there will be a moment where it's a good idea to protect your idea if you can, because one of the things that people invest in, if you're looking for investment, is some guarantee that it's not simply going to a successful idea that's earning money isn't simply going to be stolen if they invest money in something. So if you have a trademark, for example, or I don't know whether AI programs can be patented. Maybe they can. I don't know. I've not looked at that. But if in future you go through that process, if it was to be, if it was able to be patented, then you have protection over your idea the moment that you start a patent application. So even if it's not, even if it takes 3 years to actually get the protection, that's okay because they backdate it to when you actually started the application. But again, there's no point in doing that until you know that you've got an idea which is going to make you money.
Have you ever had anyone, for example, who started doing something, say, or kind of a person, that kind of, model, started doing something in AI and then, started doing something in AI for a company, not necessarily being directly employed, but like a business, say, OpenAI.
Well, I know of people who are offering themselves, their services as consultants to develop tools for people. But I guess it's more difficult. I mean, I do know of people who are. Oh, I'll send you actually. I can't think of it off the top of my head. There is a company I know who develops AI tools for people in the publishing industry. I mean, you don't earn a lot of money. It might only be say $30 to get access to a tool that these people have developed. Um, but by making it low cost, and I appreciate what you were talking about is quite an expensive thing by the sounds of it. But let's say an AI tool that you develop is quite cheap. Then if you're offering it to people for say $25, $30, then what's the point in stealing it? Because it's such a low cost thing, you may as well just buy it. And I guess, the but as I said to you before, if somebody then starts using that and tries to rebrand it as their own, then the way in which they do it will be different from what you're doing. You know, and by making it low cost, you're providing a disincentive for people to steal from you. Because what's the point in spending all that time and energy developing something, from scratch? You know,
Well,
um,
exactly that. And I mean, I have ton of ideas. It's just that I'm not sure which one exactly. I mean, I have this big project going, but that's like very big for the future. And
yeah.
in the meantime, some of the things that I could do are related, and some of them not. And I'm not sure which one should I pick right now, just to start doing it for a quick buck like that, basically.
Okay. Well, as I say, just pick the one that you're most passionate about, that you think you do a bit of research. Who is the ideal customer? Work out how you're going to make money, and do some testing, to try and validate your idea, and then, I mean, if you want to, I've got to go now because I've got another meeting I'm going to, but if you, do come back to a Wisdom of Coffee, gathering soon, because I know you've been to that before. When you're free and about, we can carry on chatting about this kind of thing.
Okay. All right. Thank you for today and see you later.
All right, Martin, thanks so much for coming. Bye bye.